Hello again and welcome to It's Just Our Opinion. I'm Ray Long. I appreciate you tuning in. Been a few weeks since we've had one of these shows. Give everybody rest. I figure you get tired of watching me sometimes, but I do appreciate you tuning in. And like I say, when it's over, if you like it, I hope you'll share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors. You know, not a whole lot going on right now. You know, this time of year, so many people's on vacation and stuff, and just not a lot of news unless you want the negative news. And of course, I don't really like negative news because that brings you down. But something really good going on right now is the Olympics over in Tokyo, Japan. I have been fortunate enough to visit Tokyo 4 different times, and I love it. I tell you what, I love to visit over there, get out and tour and sightsee and stuff. You got to be careful though, because sometimes if you can't read Japanese, and I'm going to just be honest with you right up front, I don't know any Japanese. I don't know any at all. We'll tell you a quick story. One of my first trips over there, my wife went with me, and we was Regina. We was over there walking around and doing some shopping and stuff. And of course, we thought we was keeping up with where we was. All these street signs and stuff. We was trying to be careful, go down 2 streets here, 3 here, and back. And well, when we got ready to go back, we had an appointment at 6, and so about 5, we started trying to make our way back. And believe it or not, we got lost. We had no idea. We went a couple blocks this way and this one, didn't recognize anything. All those signs telling us where we was, but we didn't know where we was. But so we finally just knew. We was watching the clock. We had to hurry and get changed for our meeting at 6, and it was already about 5:30. So we flagged a cab down, got in the cab and showed him where we was going. 2 blocks from our motel. Just didn't know. We would have never made it. But anyway, we made it, had fun, got out and sightseeing some more. We stayed on the main street. But Tokyo, Japan, last time I was over there, they was building a stadium, and I could see it from my hotel room. But they're there now. We got some Alabama people participating. I know of at least 3, but locally we have a Morgan County in there. Kanisha Burks is in the long jump. Doing great. I mean, we're so proud of her. Hartselle High School graduate, went on to University of Alabama, just set all kind of records and stuff. And she is in Tokyo right now, as we're speaking, preparing to compete. And hopefully, we're hoping she's going to bring a gold medal home to Morgan County, Alabama. So turn your TV on, watch the Olympics, support the American teams, and look, we're going to win some gold. We always do. But turn on there and watch, and let's support them, especially our local people. But let's support all Americans, because we need to stand united on this thing and count them trophies as they bring them home. Now, bronze and silver's pretty good too, but there's nothing like gold. So let's turn it on and support your American team. Hey, something really interesting. If you like football, now I do, I cannot hardly wait for football season to start. We are Alabama fans here at the Longhouse. We do allow Auburn people to come in. We have a son-in-law for Auburn. I think a couple of the grandkids support Auburn, but we're Alabama here. I mean, everything here in the house is Alabama. If it's something Auburn here, it's just because somebody left it. But what about Texas and Oklahoma wanting to come to the SEC? Now, everybody knows, without a doubt, the best conference in football is the SEC. Well, it kind of makes me wonder, Alabama's been beating all these Oklahoma and Texas and all these teams in these bowl games for years. Why would they want to come on over here to the SEC and get beat before a bowl game? Poor Oklahoma may not ever make the championship game again if they have to play Alabama in regular season. But it'd be fun. There's always good competitive teams. Texas always does good. They just not on the level as the Tide. But if they want in the SEC, I think it'd be great to have them. It'd just make it more challenging and stuff. I don't get to vote on it. Regina don't get to vote on it. Nobody in my household gets to vote, but we'd all vote for it. But it's just something about watching Alabama beat Texas and watching them beat Oklahoma. We all pulled for Oklahoma here a few years ago, except against the Tide, of course. But when we had Jalen Hurts go out there, when they won the Big 12 or whatever conference, it was just like we'd won the SEC. We pulled him for him. But let's see if they make it in. We'll know here in a few weeks if they're gonna make it in or not. But if they do, hey, it'll just make it more competitive. As if the SEC needs more competition. Hey, school's starting right here in Alabama here in the next couple of weeks. So all the kids will be heading back to school. You know, every year we have a whole new group of them driving. You know, when these kids get 16, they want to drive. A lot of them are driving at 15. A lot of them do driving at 15. But they get their license and start driving at 16. So you got really be careful. Watch for them and help them out these few years. And kids getting on the bus and all that stuff, I hope you'll really pay attention to all that. You know, not many, near as many kids ride the bus nowadays as they did when I was going to school. We didn't have an option, you know, and people didn't get up and drive you to school. If I told my mama I wanted her to drive me to school, she would have laughed. But especially when the bus run in front of my house. But be careful, watch for the kids, and you know, support your teachers. You know, your teachers are a lifeline of your schools. They stay with your kids for hours and hours during the year, and you know, they're a big influence on them. And teachers, remember your kids. You remember your kids are watching you to see what kind of examples you're going to set for them, because a lot of kids want to be like their teachers. So if you're bad, they're going to be bad. So I have confidence you'll be good. Hey, we appreciate our teachers. Sometimes we don't say that enough, but you know, our teachers really influence the route that our children are going to make. And in my case, it's going to be grandkids. All my kids done out of school, but we got grandkids now. So looking forward to it. Let's support our schools. Let's support our principals. Let's support our teachers. And most of all, let's be careful and support our students. You know, something we've noticed here around our place, I don't know about you, we've had so much rain and stuff. I mean, we have had flies galore this year. I mean, flies, every time you open the door, you just see a string of them come in. And so they're outside. You sit on the patio, they're there. Of course, we out there swatting all the time trying to get rid of them. And, you know, you kind of feel bad because sometimes you feel like that's murder when you kill a fly. But, one of our grandkids, Chance, our oldest grandson, went and bought him a salt gun. Now, his thing like a rifle about this big, and it's full of salt, and he's shooting them with salt. He calls it a fly gun. But them things just splatter when that salt gets on there. And, you know, the first thing that come to my mind when I seen him shooting them with salt was if we was on Naked and Afraid, that fly would already be salted when you eat it. And so, you know, it just helped you a lot. But that's really neat. We've had a lot of flies. If anybody's got any ideas how to get rid of them besides swatting them, you just let us know. Send us a private message or just come on here and tell us, because we have had a bunch of them. You know, another thing, now this is just to me, I'm out in the public a whole lot, and we go out and eat, and we see a lot of times, you know, married people love each other, or they wouldn't be together. But I've noticed, and me and Regina, we sit sometimes at restaurants and we sit places and we watch people talk, and the husband will say something to hurt the wife's feelings, or the wife will say something to hurt the husband's feelings. And then before you know it, right there in the restaurant, they staring each other down. Who's going to say the next thing? You know, why do you do that? When you go out and have fun. You know, one of the first things that me and Regina, or I guess if I want to be proper, say Regina and I, decided when we got married years ago that we would never say nothing in public to make the other one feel bad. And, you know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I do stuff that I know she just wants to tell me how stupid I am. But because we're sitting at one of the restaurants eating, she don't want to do that. So husbands, wives, think about that when you go out and eat. Or even if you're at home sitting around somebody, don't say something to hurt your spouse's feelings. Don't do that to them. You know, let's just try to get along. You know, if you would treat people like you want to be treated, nobody would ever have their feelings hurt. But, you know, we say that a lot, and I just wanted to throw that out. I hadn't done a lot of counseling on this show yet, but, you know, I may have to get into it. But that's something I really want to throw out there today. Only say good stuff. Who was it on Bambi where the rabbit's mama said, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. That's a good thing to live by. Well, anyway, I'm going to end you with something that I think is very, very, very interesting. And I heard this the other day, and I'd never really thought about it. But, you know, and I know some of y'all already have probably know the answer to this, but you can't tell me because I can't see you. But do y'all know why commodes are good card players? Now I know you're thinking, commodes, card players. The reason they're good at cards because they always get a flush. A flush is a good hand. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors. And you know, I said a lot of stuff here today, but you know what? It's just my opinion.